We all get consumed by something. Music, film, a good book, perhaps even that new healthy lifestyle. On Consumed, we talk to people about what's consuming them. So, let's get consumed. And welcome to Consumed. This week, we're going to be consuming Denise Travers. That is still your name. You got married. Did you keep your
I got
your name?
married.
Did you change your surname?
No, I have. Sometimes I do. Sometimes it gets confusing, so I just keep Travers. It's too long.
Okay, that's fine. Anyway, welcome, Denise. How do we know each other?
So I'm going to use the word loosely. I used to run a pub in Harpenden called the Rose and Crown, and I gave Dave a job. I like to say he worked for me, but we were kind of just friends and worked at the bar together.
Yeah, that's pretty much true, actually. You're going to have to explain why you're going to call me Dave for the whole time we're on this podcast. Yeah.
So the owner of the bar was called Alex. So when we interviewed Alex Marshall, and he told us his name was Alex, me and the other Alex decided that he couldn't be called Alex, that we'd have to call him Dave because you couldn't have two Alexes in the one pub. And it just stuck. And I've even been known to call him David. So
I know, that was the funny thing. People did start calling me David sometimes. And I'm like, my name's not even Dave. No.
no one believed you though.
No, I know. It was hilarious. Like all the regulars just thought my name was
Yeah.
Dave.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
if I
like
bumped into some of those regulars now and said, "Oh, I'm Alex from the Rose and Crown," they'll be like, "What? No,
no,
you're not." And I'm like, "Oh no, I'm Dave. Actually, I am Dave from the Rose and
Dave.
Crown."
You were always Dave.
No, the Rose and Crown not there anymore. It's been turned into old people home.
Well, it was like that at the time, wasn't it?
Yes,
There's a lot of
it's very true. So we
but
haven't
we had a
actually.
great time.
We haven't 2007.
Oh, I left England, I think, in 2007. And I think recently enough, like recent years, I can't remember, it was pre or after COVID, I'm not sure. But something happened on Instagram and I reached out, you reached out or something, I can't remember. And we started chatting. Maybe it was me bumping into Alex that I reached out and told you or whatever. And then we were just chatting for like a little bit on and off. But this is
Yeah,
the first time we've definitely spoken anyway.
yeah, absolutely. It's, obviously we had a little pre-chat before recording, and it's like it's 2007 again.
Listen, I feel like it's 2007 again now.
Yeah, apart from we're both in our 40s now.
Exactly. And we go to
Yeah,
bed at 8:30. So wrap it up soon.
I know. And keep it, but we're both staying up late to do this. It's 20
I'm
past
only
8.
joking. It's a special occasion. We'll stay up a little bit later.
So what did you have for dinner?
Okay. So I was at a conference today, so I had a big lunch. So I had like some lasagna, some chicken a la king or something. So then I came home and didn't have time for a big dinner. So I had an air fryer pizza, pepperoni, 8 minutes in the air fryer. And then I went to the gym for an hour and here I am. I had a cup of tea and 2 biscuits. That's it.
I don't have an air fryer.
You haven't got one.
No. Should I get one?
What are you doing with your life, Dave? I have to get an
Well,
air fryer.
my partner doesn't really like gadgets in the kitchen. She
Oh, it's
doesn't
not a
really like.
gadget. It's the way of life.
Yeah. So I was round our mutual friend Tom Beecham's house in December, and he opened a cupboard and it just had an air fryer in it. But it was actually his parents, but they were away, so he took it from their house and drove it to London.
Did he bring it with him? See, you need it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's one of
Well,
those things that you want in your house, but you hide. Like mine is in my utility room. You don't have it in your actual kitchen
yeah, you
because
don't want it on
they're
the
not
work
nice
surface.
looking. No, no.
Yeah, too big,
So
isn't
you
it?
have to hide it, yeah. But they are like last night I made like 2 chicken fillets. I put them in like Nando's like spices first. Put them into like tinfoil parcels. Put them into the air fryer for 25 minutes. Pop your uncle. Cook. So
Oh,
I had
it's so
chicken
good.
wraps.
Yeah. Oh,
I
I
thought
mean,
I
that
was
is
in
great.
Nando's. I know.
Yeah, we only got a microwave when we got when we had kids because we needed to heat up things quicker. Before that, we were
Keep them alive.
pretty. I didn't have a dishwasher, didn't have a tumble dryer. Ah, man, those things are so good.
Yeah,
We only had to wash
they
up
are.
2 plates though. As soon as you have kids, it's like
I bet you didn't do it though, Dave.
washing up. No, I'm a
Did you
changed
wash up the
man.
2 plates every
Yeah, I
time
washed,
you used them? Was there ever a
sometimes
pile up in the sink? Be honest.
probably yes. I'm going to say
See?
yes because I know that Amy's going to listen to this and she'll
The
come back and be
dishwasher.
like, "There's definitely."
See? The dishwasher eliminates that.
I know, you just load it up all day. It's great. Put it on. Done. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm air fryer curious is what I would say.
I think people have it in their head that it's like unhealthy food, but it's actually not. Like people like make so much, like you can make a roast chicken in it, like put a full chicken into it, like and do it. Like it's
My
really good.
my sister that lives across the road's got one. Yeah. Yeah. I
Just
don't
bring your stuff
know.
over there.
We'll probably get one and be like, "Why have I not been doing this for the last 10 years or whatever?" That's ridiculous.
Yeah, they're really good.
So, what have you been consuming recently?
Well, I made a few notes and I have listened to your previous pods and I fear I might be judged, but I'm okay with that.
You won't be judged. Not by me
So
anyway.
I do watch a lot of TV
Yeah.
because I don't have kids.
Yeah.
And like I do I do other stuff, but I do like television. So I do actually like television. Like I do, it's one of my hobbies. I like watching movies. I like watching telly. But what I've been watching this week, I finished At Home with the Furies.
Oh, well, go on. You're gonna have to explain that to me.
What? Are you living on this planet? Are you messing? No, no. Okay. So
Which
this
Fury?
is Tyson.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a
I know that
reality
one.
TV show on
Yeah.
Netflix, and it's a like of his family.
So like the Osbournes back in the day.
Nearly as bad. Yeah. So that's really good. So I finished that this week. I watched a couple of movies at the weekend and I recently got a new Fire Stick, so I've been kind of watching a bit of old stuff. So I finally watched that movie Saipan, you know about Roy Keane when he went to the World Cup
Oh,
and
yeah,
he
yeah, yeah.
left. That's a really
Yeah,
good film. I'm
yeah.
a big fan of his. I really like Roy Keane, so I watched that film.
Yeah, with, Steve Coogan.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah.
I watched, it's a pretty new one as well. It's an English film called Waste Man. Did you see that? The guy from Industry is in it, actually. I heard one of your guests talking about Industry as well. I watched that. It's very good. It's actually set in a prison in England and they're cellmates. And it's really gritty and really like real to life, I'd say. It's very good. I like a bit of dark stuff like that sometimes.
Yeah. What,
So I enjoy.
what platform is it on? Is it I 'cause
Well, that Waste Man is only a new film. Like, seen it was
is
coming
it
for ages, so I got on the Fire Stick.
okay.
Yeah, that is
Gotcha.
good. I'd say it's in
Yeah.
the cinemas still, but it was good. And then Saipan I got on the Fire Stick as well. But The Furies is on Netflix. If anybody wants to watch that, I'm sure your listeners probably don't want to watch that.
Hey, I don't even know who listens to the podcast.
Well, I'm sure they're probably a little bit more ventured than I am. I do love on Channel 4 as well. I like stuff on Channel 4 because it's quite gritty, but I do love 24 Hours of Police Custody. And I love the fact that it's nearly always in Luton.
Is it in Luton?
There's a lot of it in Luton, yeah, a lot of it around that way. So, but it's very interesting. I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So I can't handle the 24 hours in A&E though.
No, I can't
No,
watch that. No,
no,
I can't do the medical stuff.
no.
No, I can't do the medical stuff. I
24
watch
hours.
people stab each other, but I can't do the medical stuff.
Yeah.
I draw the line there. But for funny stuff, I like stuff like Amandaland and stuff
Yeah.
like that. That's really good.
Yeah, I've enjoyed Amandaland
That's
and
really good.
Motherland.
Yeah, that's really good. So that's kind of what I watch on TV. There is other stuff, but
Like what?
Maths, I watch a bit of Maths.
Oh, so that's Married
First
at
Sight,
First
yeah,
Sight in Australia,
very dramatic. Yeah,
the Australian one.
yeah,
Yeah. I watched the first series of the British one and thought this is hilarious, but then
it
it's
is.
got too crazy for me.
It is very crazy. It's very dramatic, but
Yeah.
I only watch it for the sole reason that I can literally just switch off. Like it's one of those programs that you're sitting on your phone while it's on in the background. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
hard week in work. Give me that for a couple of hours on a Saturday morning, and then I'm good. I don't really, just need a
Yeah.
little bit of
Yeah, a bit of trash.
yeah, just a bit of trash.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're the kind of things I love. Like I actually do love movies and films. Like I do always like keep an eye on what's coming out. I don't overly like the cinema because people annoy me.
Yeah.
So I just wait until it comes out. So
Yeah.
I watched The Housemaid at home. That was very good.
Yeah. What's that one?
It's that one is what's her name is in it. She's really good.
Doesn't narrow it down.
No, I can't remember who's in it. I can't remember who it's by or because it was a book. I read the book and then I watched the movie. It's very good.
Hmm. But this is when I worked in a cinema, I used to watch a lot of movies because I had keys to a cinema. So, I'd watch
Phenomenal.
them after hours. I know this is it. So it's funny because we worked in hospitality when I was a teenager. We worked together and I ended up working hospitality for 17 years after that.
I mean, you just looked like you liked it so much, Dave, at the time.
To be fair, I did. I think it's because I could stand around and talk to people all day.
That is what you did.
Yeah, that's what I did back then, and that's what I did. I was good at it. So, but I
You
was
were.
also quite good at the job part as well. So when I worked in a when I moved up to Harrogate 10 years ago, I was 30 and didn't have a job, and they were opening the Everyman Cinema in town. So I started working there from the very beginning, and so it was great because I could watch movies. Sometimes I would be in the biggest screen with the best sound system all by myself, just watching a movie. So then when I do go and watch them at like normal times with regular people in there, I agree. I'm like, shush, basically.
And if there's kids, like, I can't.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
terrible.
But yeah, and so also as well, like now I go to the cinema, I have to pay, whereas before I didn't.
Yeah,
And I have
that
to
is
pay
a
for
stickler.
popcorn and don't really want to pay for popcorn because I know how
No,
much it costs. And also the discount I used to get at the Everyman was 50% off behind the bar.
what?
So yeah.
There was the
So
bar.
yeah, this is like a posh cinema. You get served beer to the seats and
My
wine
God.
and food.
There's
Yeah.
one of them in Dublin, actually. It's called a Stella Cinema. It's supposed to be, it's really nice.
Similar kind of vibe.
Yeah, similar kind of vibe.
Yeah, so I drank loads of beers in there, basically, is what I'd spend
But,
most of
like,
my time
that'd
doing in
be
there.
the dream though, like, having the cinema to yourself and just, like, chilling out and doing that. But, like, I think the next best thing is just being able to watch the films at home on the
Yeah.
Fire Stick. So that's what I do. I just
Yeah,
wait for
it
them to
is.
come out on that.
How big is your TV?
Big enough. I mean, I don't know the inches there, but, like, it's big enough.
Big
Like,
enough. Had no
it's big.
complaints? Had no
Like, when people
complaints.
come in, they're like, "Wow, your TV's big."
Did they
Like,
say
that
that?
big.
People say that? Right, so then it's quite big then.
Yeah, it's quite big, yeah.
Oh, right, okay, well,
Yeah, it's
fair enough.
quite big.
I
What
think mine's
happened?
43 inches.
Mine's probably only, like, 55.
Well, this is another thing that I had from working in the cinema is I became a bit of a snob with, like, picture quality and stuff.
Yeah,
So I had to get a 4K TV. It was only like 200 and something quid, but I got it when we moved in, sort of 2019. Because I was so used to watching stuff in, like, really high
video
definition and
quality, yeah.
yeah, and I obviously another fun thing about working in the cinema is I learned how projectors worked and all that kind of stuff, and that was exciting. I think one time, I can't remember if I've told this story in the podcast before, but I might have done. I was just out drinking with my partner Amy and a couple of friends, and we were chatting about Cool Runnings, and I
Yeah.
said I bought that on Blu-ray so I could watch it at the cinema, and my mate was just like, "I'd love to watch that in the cinema." And it was like 10 o'clock on a Sunday, and I was like, "Well, I've still got my keys on me. I think they're locking up." And I just went in with my friends and
And
watched Cool
watched it.
Runnings. Yeah, and I said to
My
the manager,
god,
"Don't worry, I'll lock up." I
that
know
would
I'm
be the
probably
best ever.
bending the rules a little bit there, I think, but, hey, I think I have told that story on the podcast before, but yeah.
But you'd probably be, like, the most honest person bending rules ever, because you probably, like, cleaned up before you left and, like, locked the like, nobody minds somebody
Of
doing
course I
that, do you
did.
know what I mean?
Absolutely, I'm not
So,
leaving
yeah,
any
I'd say
mess.
you were fine.
I when that job, like, because I that's yeah, you're absolutely right. So I would have done that because I know the
Yeah.
manager in the morning as I've always got to clean up my mess. But when it got to like COVID times and we reopened and it was like 50% occupancy, this is just before I left, and we had like no staff on because we couldn't afford it. Well, quotation marks. And because I was on salary, I had to work all of my hours, all my 48 hours that I was contracted to. We had no one washing up. We couldn't afford anyone to wash up. And so basically, they would finish the shift, and you've got all these screens with all this food and all the drinks and everything would come out. And then we'd be like, clean everything up. And then I'd walk into the back kitchen, and it would just be like stacked full of plates.
Mayhem.
And there would be no one else to do it. I'd have to just stay until like 1:30 in the morning washing up because otherwise the person opening up in the morning wouldn't have anything
Would have
to
to do it.
yeah, well, yeah, but they also need to set up, so they can't do it. Man, it was brutal. It was so brutal.
Yeah,
But
I
I
can
and also
imagine.
by that point as well, I was getting a bit old to be standing on my feet all day doing 48 hours a week, so that's why I changed.
Yeah. I think with the hospitality thing for me, like, I really enjoyed it when I was, like, that age. Like, I worked in bars before I came to England that time. And then I worked in the Rose and Crown, obviously, but when I came home, I did a couple of bar jobs just when I moved home, just because I actually moved home quite abruptly, if you remember. The pub just closed down, so I just left, um, and worked a couple of bar jobs, and I just got to the stage where I was like, "I can't do this anymore." And then I was like, "Right, I need to go to college." That's the end of that.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think you reach a point where, like you, like, you've taken, like, kind of a vocation now rather than like, I just like, I don't know how would you stand on your feet for 8 hours now? I'm messed it up. Like, I couldn't do that now, Dave. Absolutely not. I'm
honestly.
like, "No way."
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the thing is though now, what's ridiculous is like when I used to work at cinema, it'd be a 20-minute walk to work, 20-minute walk back. So I'd get those steps in. It was a huge building. So I'd be doing a lot of steps. One day when we went back after lockdown, I did a 9 till 9 shift, classic kind of 12-hour shift. And the new Peter Rabbit movie was out, which is obviously good in I know you said Harpen in Harrogate. And then that day I did 40,000 steps and I was just at work.
There's some
Whereas
days that
now
I do, yeah.
I'm wearing a
No
Fitbit
way.
because I sit on my bum all day, and I try and get 10,000. I can't even
Yeah,
do that some
I
days
can't.
because I'm just on my
No.
bum all the time. I know,
Yeah,
and
same.
that's just ridiculous.
It's awful. I
But I
know.
also my knees can't really handle it anymore either. Or maybe it's because I spent so long on my feet.
Maybe.
Could be. But,
Oh, it is.
I did enjoy hospitality though. So when I left the Rose and Crown, if you want a little story of where I worked afterwards, because you might
Yeah,
not know,
I don't.
I went to go work in Manchester in a bar called Trough, and I made some good friends. So my friend Luke, who was on the podcast previously, we met there and we worked together and enjoyed. I really enjoyed working there. It was just like a group of mates all working together. Like none of us really cared about the job. We were just all having a laugh. So that was good fun. And then after that, I worked in a little cafe in Manchester. And then I worked in a cafe called Teacup, which was owned by Mr. Scruff, the DJ. And so
In a
then that's when I
cafe.
yeah, he owned a cafe, the DJ owned the cafe, and him and
Alright.
his manager. It's not there anymore, but, that was good fun because that was I kind of transitioned from working late nights to working as
During the day.
a barista, and so
Yeah.
then after that, I went and I lived in New Zealand for a year.
Did you?
Yeah.
What to do over there?
So my girlfriend at the time, she's half Kiwi, so her mum's family was from New Zealand, so she had 2 passports. So we went over there and just travelled around. I worked in a hostel for a bit there, and then we lived in Queenstown in the South Island, and I managed a burger bar, so
Right,
flipping burgers.
random, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, it was great fun, but everyone was just, to be honest, I worked there and just saved money to then carry on with the trip, and this was 2012, so I was about 26 at the time. But I used to work, I think 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., being pretty much just serving cheesy chips to drunk Australians that were on holiday from Australia. But that was great fun, really good. And then came back, and then that's when I moved to London, and I started working in a cafe there. And then at that point in London, that's when I got lots of training from actual roasteries and stuff on how to make coffee, really. And
Yeah.
so I did a lots of that in London, from lots of different places. If people have heard of them, like places called Monmouth, Full Press, Espresso, Climpson's, like loads of like nice, like independent roasteries, and did all that training. And that's where I met Amy. And then we then moved up north in 2016, and then that's when started working at the cinema, which I was at for about 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah, because I've
Wow.
been up here. I've been a driving instructor about 5 years now as well. I don't know where the time's gone. It's just
Oh
like
my
whoosh.
gosh.
I
What
know.
made you do like, that's completely different, like, so you did hospitality for ages, then you're like, "I'll just be a driving instructor."
Well, I don't have any qualifications or anything like that, so this is the only qualification I've actually got, other than some, like, random food safety stuff. Not a qualification. And then so Amy was driving somewhere sometime. We just had a baby, Bonnie,
Wild.
and she saw a girl learning to drive, and she was with her dad, I think, and then they were kept stalling on a hill, and she got out crying and switched around, and her dad got in, and she was like, "Oh, you can definitely teach Bonnie to drive." And I was like, "Yeah, I'll teach Bonnie to drive." And then I was like, hang on a minute, I could probably teach more than Bonnie to drive. And just looked into it, and like it felt like it fitted me really well. And it does, to be honest.
It does. It
Yeah.
absolutely, like, when you said that to me, I wasn't a bit surprised. You're the most
Yeah.
patient man I've ever met in my life. Like, I don't know
Still
how.
patient.
Well,
Yeah.
are your kids not tested you a little bit?
But yeah, they test me. Yeah. Yeah. They do. Yeah. Yeah. They don't
Do
have
they
my
now?
patience.
Like,
Yeah.
I can't even imagine you, like, when the time, like, off. Do you give out to them?
Sorry. What, my kids? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I have to sometimes. Yeah.
I can't even imagine it. I can't even imagine you raising your like, you probably don't raise your voice, but, like, saying years to come when you have to actually raise your voice, I can't even imagine it, like.
I do sometimes raise my voice with the kids.
Do
Yeah.
ya?
Yeah. Because I don't do it very often, it is quite shocking.
Yeah, I suppose my dad was quite like that as well, but, like, do they not laugh? No.
No, well, not really. But yeah, they do. I mean, they're absolute
Do
like
they?
like they're just so silly. Like, but like in a funny
Yeah,
way, they're silly. Or they are quite silly. So yeah, I trained to be a driving instructor, and then yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. I'm quite patient, and then
you are.
also now I just don't think I could work for anybody else ever again.
No.
Being self-employed is great.
Yeah,
Apart from I don't get any benefits, so if I take time off, I don't get paid. So that's the only thing.
yeah.
You just got to factor that in when you're working out your income, obviously.
Well, I work for, like, the social work department, so, like, the government, but, like, my husband works for himself, he's a plumber, so he's the same. Like, so if he
Mm.
takes holidays, we want to go away traveling or whatever, he obviously has to make sure financially that he could take the time off or,
Yeah,
whatever's coming up or whatever it is.
yeah.
So it is different when you do work for yourself like that. But then again, like that, he would never go back to working for somebody else. He's just gone too far now. And I suppose it's all right because I work for, like, I have that bit of job security. You know what I mean? So even if he is slack for a week, you know what I mean? Like, it's not that, and he never is, but like, just if he ever was, like, it's a bit more, you know?
There is always that worry. And,
Yeah.
like, if I haven't got any work coming in, I've got to go find it. But to be honest with you, there's like 4 high schools and a college in this town and loads of villages outside. And there is just so many kids. I'm never out of work. Like, I'm
You see,
always
it's part
busy.
of your curriculum over there, isn't it, to learn how to drive?
No, no,
Did it not used to be?
no, no, no.
Oh, okay.
It's all private.
Because it's
So,
not here.
yeah, no, it's just just like your choice, to be honest with you. And
Yeah.
I live in quite an affluent town, so people are willing to pay for lessons. But,
Is there a minimum lessons that you have to do?
no, no.
There's a minimum here. You have to do, like, 12 here.
Do you?
So
All
every
right.
yes,
They're
so
thinking of
every
bringing that stuff in.
because you have
So
to do
at the
your
moment,
theory, obviously. Now, obviously, I'm a dinosaur, so I never had to do any of this, but, like, they they do, you
do you
do
have a
a
driving
theory.
license? I've never seen you
Yeah,
drive a car. Yeah, I've never
well,
seen you drive a car.
I drove before I went to England, and I
Yeah.
drove over there
On
probably without
Alright.
insurance. Like, I don't obviously, different times there, do you know
Yeah,
what
it
I
was
mean? You're
different
like,
time.
it was all right back then. But yeah, I've always driven. I've driven since I'm 17. Had a car here before I went to England, and then I always intended to come back to Ireland. I just ended up staying. So my parents sold that car, but now, so I had my license my provisional license, I think, before I went, and I got my full license when I came back. But there was no, now you have to take like 12 lessons minimum before you can even take your test here.
They're thinking of changing the rules here and bringing in something that you can't take your test until 6 months after you. I think it's 6 months after you pass your theory is what they're thinking of doing, or 6 months
Oh,
after you turn 17. But I mean, it's I don't know. Like sometimes I teach people and they just know how to do it, and I'll
yeah, they
be
get
like,
it.
yeah, I'll be like, why are you doing that? Or not, I won't ask it like that.
Yeah.
I'll be like,
No, yeah.
or they'll do something, and I'll be like, oh, why have you done that? And they'll be like, well, there's a car coming, so I thought maybe it'd be best not to drive towards it. And I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
cool. But most people just like scream and hold the wheel, and you just
Yeah.
like slow
They're
down a little bit.
nervous.
Yeah,
But
and they just get it.
even if there is a driver here that gets it like that, they still have to do their 12 and get signed off on it. So it's a
Yeah,
money racket, like, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
it's very much.
Maybe they should do it.
Yeah, but it is, like, if someone comes to you, you know you're guaranteed 12 lessons from them people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like,
To
that's
be
the way it is
fair,
here.
I've probably only had like a couple of people who, even the people that get it, I'd still do probably. I think there was one lad I did like 8 lessons with him, but like he was driving loads in his own car with his mum, and but like you can prepare for the driving test. That could take 3 lessons. It could take 4 lessons just to like get yourself ready for it or whatever. You might know how to drive, but just kind of just get yourself prepared. But most people take, I don't know, about 30 hours, around about that. Some people longer. One guy did 100. That's just
He's a
how long it took him. I
cycle.
mean, I won't tell him how much he paid me in the end, but that's quite a lot. Well, yeah, it's cycling in Harrogate is hard.
Is it?
There's just like a couple of main roads, and they're always full of traffic, and no one respects the cyclists.
Yeah, well, I'm a bit like that actually now that you say it, I hate them. I'm like,
Yeah,
"Get up the road." But, like,
I'm not. No, go on.
uh, I would drive a good bit for my job. So, I got an automatic, and it's the best thing I ever did in my life.
Oh yeah, they are good. Yeah, they
They
are
are
good.
good. Yeah, yeah, they
I
are
mean,
good.
I teach in a manual, but like
You have to
when
though.
I go on holiday, if we're renting a car, I'm renting an automatic.
Yeah,
Yeah, especially if I'm on
they
the other side
are.
of the road. That's good.
Yeah, they are. I would the same if I rent in another country, I always rent automatic stuff just 'cause it's what I'm used to, and
Yeah.
it's just easier.
What car have you got?
An Audi A3, you call them an Audi, do you?
Oh, an Audi A3. Nice.
Yeah, it's a saloon
Yeah.
one, it's nice. It's only a 181. I'm looking to get a new one actually to upgrade, but yeah, it's really a good bit of work. I need some sort of a sensible car, you know what I mean? And I drive kids in work sometimes.
Yeah, I've got a Suzuki Swift. It's a hybrid.
Yeah, that doesn't make it any nicer then. I'm only messing, it's a lovely car, it's a lovely car.
Yeah, it is nice actually. It's 20. I basically it's the first time I've ever bought a brand new car, but it's for work. So,
Oh, you have to so you can.
well, I don't need to buy a brand new car for work, but it is much nicer having a brand new car when you're teaching people. It just works a bit better generally.
And it'll last a bit longer and stuff, won't it?
Yeah, I'm paying it off for 4 years, and then we'll see what happens at the end of that. See how well the podcast's doing.
Yeah.
See if I can become
Yeah.
a full
You
time
could be
podcaster.
famous by then, Dave.
Probably not with my 50 listens a week, but yeah. Yeah, it's true.
That would be good.
So, if you were on a desert island, which dessert would you eat first?
Okay. This is a firm, these two are non-negotiables. Apple tart,
Okay.
no cinnamon, none of that stuff. Apples,
Okay.
tarts, and then separately,
Apple.
jelly, just jelly, no
What
ice cream.
flavour?
Now I'm okay with raspberry or strawberry,
Yeah.
but not lime or
Yeah.
anything like that. Just raspberry or strawberry. That's it. The shop near me does little small like pots with jelly in. So I always have them after my dinner. Just a little pot of jelly.
Always. You
Well,
have a pot of
not
jelly
every
every
day.
day? Okay.
I would say 5 out of 7 days. I probably do. Little pot of jelly.
Pot of
They're
jelly?
really small, Dave. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're
Well,
like, 'cause
you
go
could
on.
make your own, can't you? You just like portion them up. Like the little shot
Yeah.
glasses, like your little vodka jellies.
I could, but they're €1.50 and
Okay.
they're like so good. So I just picked them up when I'm in the shop.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
So you just like the jelly. That's why. That's
I
it.
love jelly.
You've always liked jelly?
Always like jelly. I've a real sweet tooth actually, really, really bad. Like even if I'm having a cup of tea, I can't not have something with it. And like after my dinner, like I literally, because I used to smoke, didn't I?
Mhm.
Oh, I don't do that anymore.
No,
That
me
was
neither.
terrible.
Yeah. I
Did
probably
you
didn't
used to
smoke.
smoke?
Yeah, not
I knew you.
when I worked in Manchester, I did, because I only got a break. That's the only way I got a break.
What? You just took up smoking because you had a break?
Yeah.
But you're killing yourself, Dave.
Yeah, I know. I didn't it wasn't forever that.
Yeah, no, no, I gave it up. I think I'd say I had my last cigarette the day before my transplant, and then that was it. I never smoked again. But yeah, so I have a real sweet tooth, so I'll always have like something sweet after my dinner. So I'll have even a piece of chocolate. Like even coming up to Easter, it was like cheaper to buy 5 Easter eggs for €5 than like a bar of chocolate. So that's what I just did. So
Good stuff.
I have them in the fridge still. I'm still eating up little bits of Easter egg with my teeth.
That's great discipline though, because if I had those Easter
Yeah.
eggs in there, I would eat them all in one night.
No.
Yeah.
No, because you know why, Dave? Because if I ate them all in one night, I might as well stay in the bed for the spin in the morning and not bother going. So I have to have some sort of discipline.
Yeah, that's impressive discipline. I also have
Yeah.
a sweet tooth. I remember once there was a guy that used to work at the corner shop at the end of the road, and he always used to make weird comments. Like he would just say something weird. I remember during COVID, I was buying some Corona, and he said, "Oh, trying to get the virus," and I was like, "What?" He's like, "Trying to get the virus." I was like, "What?" And he was like, "The beer," and I was like, "Right, yeah, good one."
Yeah.
So
What you lied
I
to him though,
then,
because it wasn't a good one.
yeah, well, but then I tried to out weird him and say weird things to him first, um, so that but he would never join in. Like if I said something first, he wouldn't. So one time, basically, I was buying biscuits, and I got to the till, and I just went, I don't know, what did I say? I said, I only drink tea so I can eat biscuits. And then he just looked at me and didn't say anything. I was like, oh, come on, man. I was giving you a bit of information there. So anyway, so I'm like you. If I'm drinking a cup of tea, I probably need something to dip in it. And it becomes a habit.
On the tea that I had this evening before you came on, I had 2 bourbons.
Nice.
I
Yeah,
like
good
a
choice.
bourbon. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm trying hard to not have treats in the house because, as I said, if they are in the house, I will eat them all. I've got no discipline there, and
I
I've
think
always been like that.
I think not to sound like stereotypical, but I do think it's a male thing because my husband's the same, like, he can't. He'll say to me, "I hate those biscuits. Why did you buy those biscuits?" And 2 days later, they're gone.
Yeah, I'm exactly like that. Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like, "Where's
yeah,
the biscuits gone? Why you didn't like
yeah.
them?"
I thought you hated them.
And
Yeah,
he's like,
yeah,
"Sure, you can't leave them there and me not eat them." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Great crack. I bought them so you wouldn't eat them, and here we
yeah.
are."
I bought the stuff you didn't like so I could eat
Yeah,
them, but then you've
and
eaten
he
it
just
anyway.
eats them anyway, yeah. Heartbreaking. Or did you ever have, like, my thing at the minute is Maltesers, but they're a real treat because 'cause they're, like, very expensive. I'm like, "I'll buy a packet of Maltesers, leave it in the fridge," and all the way home from work, I'm like, "Can't wait to have this," and
Yeah,
they're
I
gone.
can't.
They're gone.
Oh, well, they've gone. Yeah,
Can you hear me?
yeah, 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 yeah.
And then the Maltesers are gone by the time you get home. Like, that's divorce territory there. Do you know what I mean?
You're gonna have to buy 2 packs and just leave one in an obvious place, and then keep yours in the fridge or something like that.
I'm gonna have to,
Oh,
like, start hiding food on him, like, it's actually, like,
yeah.
not even normal.
What if so? What's he not going to eat? So if you put Maltesers inside like a salad bag, is he going to go near that?
Yes, because he likes salad as well, so you'll find them. But, like, listen, he's allowed to eat the food in the fridge. I'm not locking the fridge on him, but, like,
Yeah, that's true.
he don't eat my stuff. Like, it's not even that. It's not that I'm telling him not to eat it. But if you're looking forward to something when you go home and it's gone, it's just heartbreaking, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I do
'Cause you
agree.
have to go back
I'm
to the
probably
shop.
bad for that. Actually,
Yeah,
I am. I probably do the same thing.
yeah. Like, you'd
Yeah,
see it there and you're like, "Oh, I like that," you know?
yeah,
It's not
yeah.
yours, though. It's not yours.
No.
You've no business eating
So
it.
he would eat all the Maltesers, not even leave you one?
All of
Huh.
them. There's no leaving anything. All of them.
Yeah, great. Love it. That's so funny. And also,
Yeah.
so we've skipped past this, but apple pie, just apples and
Just that, no
pastry.
cinnamon. Cinnamon is an English thing. You can keep it. It's terrible on it's terrible on apple pie. Not apple pie, actually, apple tart.
Okay, apple tart. Sorry. Yeah, apple
And
tart.
no cinnamon ruins it.
What's the difference between an apple pie and an apple tart?
Thinner base. Like an apple pie is deeper, and the pastry is sometimes a little bit different.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bit more the short crust.
Yes,
Yeah,
bit
yeah, yeah.
drier.
Would you get with an apple tart? Do you get pastry on top as well, like a
Yeah.
lattice? Or
It's
yeah, yeah,
it's listen, it's probably an apple pie's sibling, just smaller, just smaller.
yeah,
And then no cinnamon, just sugar. You put sugar in on it. Now I'm saying it like I make them. I don't.
yeah,
My mommy does. So you
yeah.
put sugar in on top of it, and then you obviously do the rest of the pastry, and you put it into the oven. So that's what she does. And yeah, it's like just thinner pastry, smaller.
Nice. Yeah,
It's
great.
good.
Love it. Absolutely love it. I
Good.
love the fact that you've thought about all these questions as well. Because
I
normally I
have.
text people and say, "Oh,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you these questions, by the way," and I didn't do that with you. But as soon as I
But
pop
you
them
see, I
up, you're
listened
like,
to the pod, Dave. I know the questions.
"Okay, so if you had a time machine, where would you go?"
Oh God, I was dreading this question. Probably, I actually like the Canadian's answer. That guy
Yeah,
last week, nice guy.
Al. Yeah, his name's Al. Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
He said that he would probably go back and meet somebody he never met, and I probably would as well. My dad's dad died in 1972 when my dad was 11, and I would have just loved to see what he was like. So that's probably what I do.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't go
I'm the same
forward.
actually, because my mum's dad passed away when she was 11 as well, actually. So I
Oh,
agree. I'd be
wow.
interested to know.
Yeah, what he was like.
Interested to know because apparently he was funny.
You had to get it from somewhere, Dave. My granddad must have been too.
Yeah. Good one.
But yeah, so and actually, interestingly enough, my granddad was the first person in Ireland to get a kidney transplant. And then obviously I had a liver transplant. So we had that in common. Would have liked to pick something else, but here we are.
Yeah. You got it in common though.
Listen,
Transplant buddies. Yeah.
it makes us closer. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Indeed. Yeah. Nice.
but
Great.
yeah,
Really good. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. As we said at the start, we've not actually spoken for nearly 20 years,
yeah, Jesus.
which is mad to think, really.
Yeah, yeah.
But, it's also been nice that we can just pick it up and chat as if we were chatting last week.
So funny. Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
it is
It's
funny,
actually
actually.
nice. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And I was looking forward to it as well. I wasn't like nervous or anything. I was like looking forward to it.
Yeah, I
So I'm really
agree. Me
glad we
too.
did it. Yeah,
Yeah, I was thinking the same. I was like, not that I'm not looking forward to speaking to all of my guests,
not as
but,
much. Let's face it.
Al last week, I actually did see him a couple of weeks before. My friend Susie that came on, I see her almost nearly every single day because our kids go to the same school. But
Mad.
but yeah, so as the whole point of the podcast was to catch up with old friends, and this is exactly what we've done, which has been great, been really really good. So thanks very much for coming on. Thanks to everybody
Thanks,
that's
Dave.
listening still. If the people out there are still listening, or like the show, like and subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And then last week I forgot to say my catchphrase.
You did.
Yeah, I know. Oh, you noticed? Yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry. Well, anyway, it's nice to chat.